So maybe you love your MGB like I do, but you're a taller driver, which I am as well. And you can see I've taken off the rear view mirror. Normally the mirror sits about right here, and down about there. So when you're taking, especially looking to the right, that thing is really impinging on your view. So what I'm proposing to do is, like the early Bs had the mirror down here. So how are we going to do this? Well, here's the mirror. I took off the plastic, that would normally go up to the windshield and put this screw back in, but essentially we have a spot for a screw to go in. And I'm thinking part one will be just to get kind of a bracket onto this window stabilizer bar, just like the original old factory one. So let's take a look at making something like this. I've got one in here that is rock solid, and then how we're going to build something off of here to hold the mirror. All right, step one, to make that holder essentially to go around the window bar, is I took something like a metal clamp from this Harbor Freight Classic for wiring. Let's take a look. Okay, so we can take the rubber off here and see what we have. These are the rubber insulated ones. Alright, so we're left with something like this. Now obviously if you clamp that down, it'll be for a much larger diameter bar than the one that we're trying to make a tight clamp to on our windshield. So let's see what we can do. Well, I'm going to start with my big old vise here, and I'm going to start by just clamping this big deck screw and kind of into it, and just start to bend it around that. That'll give us a shape. In fact, I'm going to use where the threads are. Okay. Now we got something that the bar, it'll go around the bar there. But we need to really make this tight. So let's put a hole here, and we'll do a screw and nut and washer to be able to really clamp this around our bar that is being mimicked right now by this deck screw. Alright, what I want to do is we're going to drill a hole in here to really hold it to the bar, right? It's being mimicked by the large deck screw currently. So I am going to screw this to this piece of wood here to hold it down so that I can drill through it real well when we get to doing our hole. That went well. Come on, grab it. There it goes. Okay, get a punch like this, and we want to get it in here pretty good to really clamp down around that. So yeah, we're going to put a hole like right there. Now, you're going to want to make a pretty good size hole. I'm using a 7/32 drill bit here I'm going to use because you want a decent nut and bolt to go through there, and it's about 7/32 width. You don't want just something skimpy. I did try that at first on a version I made, and it just stripped it. So you're going to want, a nut and washer too. You're going to be able to put on there, and to be able to secure it. So let's try drilling a hole. It's about 7/32, and you'll see now why it's great to have this down on here. Boom, we're through to the... Okay. Now we have this guy that is going to slide over the bar in the window. I'll show you that in a second. And we will have, it bolted on tight using that. And this here will align real well. And that'll be another extension. We'll get to that as our next part here. Okay, so I've placed what we just made around the window support bar. And now I'm going to put a bolt through there that had a washer built in. Don't tell anybody. It is actually a metric one. All right, off camera a little bit, I tighten that down real good because I don't want this coming, around with the weight. I don't want that moving with the weight of the mirror. All right, so I put it about 3 inches from the bottom there. We'll see how that works. Of course, we can always adjust it, but it is on there. You should have something the same. So now we have our hole here. Let's look at how we're going to make this work with the mirror. All right, so what we have currently, I'll go back to my demo with we'll pretend this is the window bar. We have something like this. Obviously, we can't just put the mirror on there. That would be completely the wrong direction. We need it facing this way. So how about another little connector? Remember, this is bolted on here, and we've got these like this, these two here. So I took actually another skinnier clamp from a wire clamp, and just first I made it flat, and I did put a 90-degree angle in it. My idea being, and I'll shorten this up, and we'll see in a second, we'll bolt this to this, and then where that 90 is, that'll go to the mirror. So you do need a 90 on it. So our second piece is essentially going to be a flat guy like this with a 90 in it. I'm going to cut this back. We don't need it very long, and then drill a new hole in it. Probably just something like about there, just eyeballing it. Okay, using our cutoff wheel. Let me plug it in first. Clean up the edges here. No sharp or anything. Okay. So now we have this rather short piece, and we need a hole in, well, both sides. One for the mirror to attach to, and another to go into our hole for the existing mount that we have. Now, my technique to drill a hole in this short guy that has the 90 on it is to put a 2x in the vise and put our piece right on there, really tighten it, and it shouldn't move. And use our punch. Boom. Put a little oil on there again. Okay, so here's what we have. This little 90 with a small hole and a larger hole to make the connection to the other piece that's already on there. Now it looks like I will have to perhaps put the mirror on first. I found a shorter screw. Let's do that now. Now this is going to come out the side, and I haven't decided yet if I'll use the bottom with this or make that the top. Let's check it out. But here you can see I can get this on, and I might have wanted to use a lock washer there too, but we'll see how it works. Alright, so here's the concept then. We have, you can see, that I just put on the back of the mirror, and we have the mount we made previously, and I'm hoping I can hook it on there, and of course we'll get a little adjustability from this. This will still move there within the mirror. Okay, I put this bolt in, and then I was looking and kind of do it by maybe kind of laying things down. I may have made it a little too short and just forgetting it through all the holes there. So we might have to do a little trimming on the bracket. It wasn't quite fitting in. So what did I do? I rounded this edge right here. All right, here's what we got. And I pulled it up a little bit so that now I'm going to be able to tighten this to our second piece here. Get that arranged how I want it, then slide this back down. Let's take a look. Okay, now we'll try to place it where we want it on the bar. Maybe something like that. And we just have to tighten these guys up, and we're there. Good little project. So that's what it looks like from through the now dirty windshield as I have to clean it. All right, thanks.